Insert, overwrite, 3-point editing. So, we go directly to the editing itself. We have different techniques for gluing frames together. There are many options. The simplest of them that we have already analyzed is drag and drop when we drag video from the source panel and drop it to the timeline panel. The second editing method is to use insert and overwrite. These functions can be found in the source panel. Keyboard shortcut for insert is comma and for overwrite is dot. What is the difference between insert and overwrite? Initially, we take any video, choose a fragment using mark in and mark out, and then click insert. It's throwing the video to the recording tracks that we have assigned, while it's shifting all the other audio or video and freeing up space for itself. If we want to insert a fragment somewhere in the middle of the clips, it will insert from the playhead. It's the horizontal line that is an indicator of the current frame. Overwrite works differently. It doesn't push the other materials on the track, but it simply rewrites them from the moment of playhead. How do insert and overwrite work when applied to drag and drop mode? By default, when we transfer a video from source to timeline, we will overwrite the material on the track. If we need to use insert to expand the video, we will drag the video with the pressed Ctrl key. A vertical line with triangles appears. It's indicating that all other files on the timeline will be shifted. If we need to move only one track on the timeline and don't touch other materials, then we will transfer the video by holding down Ctrl plus Alt on the PC, Ctrl plus Shift on the Mac. We act by the same analogy when we need to swap two clips. In order to do it, we drag the desired clip with the pressed Ctrl plus Alt keys and swap it with another one. To the third method of editing, we can refer to moving the clip from source and project not only to the timeline panel, but also to the program window. Here we have a widget that helps us choose what action needs to be performed. The following actions are available to us on the appeared widget. First of all, there is insert located in the central part. If we move the video to the central part of the program panel, it will cut everything by playhead and shift it to the right. Secondly, there is overwrite, that is in the lower right part under the center. If you transfer the video, the other clips will be overwritten on the timeline. The next functions are insert before and insert after, that are located in the left and right parts of the widget. For example, playhead is located somewhere in the middle of the clip, and we need to insert the clip to the left in the splice. We drag it and click insert before. We will perform the same actions by clicking insert after if we need to move the clip to the splice to the right. Next, let's consider such an action as replace, which is located in the lower left part under the center. When we use replace, it will literally replace the clip that the playhead is on. It remains the same length, but is replaced by another video starting from mark in. There is another option to do replace without using the widget. We need to mark in and move the fragment with the pressed Alt key to the desired place to be replaced. The length of the clip and all the effects applied to it remain unchanged. The final function on the widget is the overlay in the upper part. This function searches for the first free track from the top and moves the clip to it. How the 3-point editing technique works. We need to specify 3 points in order to place a clip on the timeline. For example, there are 2 of these are on the source panel, and the third point is on the timeline. Or it can be vice versa. 1 point is on the source panel and the other 2 points are on the timeline. So the 3 coordinates describe the position of the clip in space. Let's say we have mark in and mark out on the source panel, so we only need to put mark in on the timeline. When we have these markers, we won't be interested in the location of the playhead. If we click Insert, the video will move to the mark-in on the timeline of a certain length that is specified by the mark-in and mark-out on the source panel. If we only have mark-out in the timeline panel, it will insert the clip fragment specified by the marks in and out on the source by combining the endpoints. By the same principle, we can put mark-in and mark-out on the timeline and leave only one point on the source. For example, there is only mark-in. If we don't choose mark-in and mark-out, then by default it will move the clip from the beginning. For instance, we need to overwrite a certain piece of video with a specific media source beginning. To do this, we put mark-in and mark-out on the timeline, choose mark-in in the source panel and click Overwrite. Conversely, if we need to overwrite a video fragment with a certain ending on the media source, we will use the same markers in and out on the timeline, but on the source we choose the desired markout. Hotkeys for resetting points: PC Ctrl plus Shift plus 6, Mac Alt plus 6. It looks terrible, of course, but now we are considering the tools, not the artistry. There are the first tools. In the next video, we'll continue to analyze it.